Welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring something truly special. Neal Adams Monsters, a collection that showcases not just Adams' master of anatomy and dramatic lighting, but his pure fascination with the strange, the grotesque, and the larger than life. This isn't just a flip book. It's a look at the techniques, the textures, the storytelling instincts that made Adams one of the most influential illustrators to ever touch a comic book page. This book feels heavy. It's a great cover. We see an awesome illustration of the Wolfman. That looks amazing. Raw. This is published by Vanguard Publications. They did a phenomenal job. That's an awesome illustration of Dracula. That looks amazing in pen and ink. All right, let's dive into the chapters. First up, Frankenstein. I love that opening panel. It's so cinematic. It's wide. Your eyes and imagination breathe into the panel. Great illustration. As the book begins, we're greeted with Adams' foundational approach to monster design. Right away, you'll notice how he frames horror, not just through exaggerated features, but through cinematic visuals and lighting. Adams always understood how shadows create mood, and these first pages are a perfect example. His approach wasn't about making creatures look ugly. It was about making them look powerful, ancient, and emotionally impressive. Even the simplest sketches are loaded with tension. Great doorknob. He often uses clean, confident lines and then contrasts them with chaotic textures. That's Adams' way of blending realism with surreal energy, like the monsters are pushing against the page. That's an awesome shot of Frankenstein's lab. As we move on into his takes on traditional monsters, you'll see how Adams redefines familiar icons. Whether it's vampires, werewolves, or myth-inspired creatures, his versions always have a kind of heroic anatomy, even if they're terrifying. Adams believed form mattered, even if monsters had to be grounded in anatomy and motion. That's an awesome shot of Frankenstein being electrified to life. Phenomenal visuals on this page. Look at the musculature on the facial structure of Frankenstein. He feels like he could leap right off the page. He often tilts heads at dramatic angles or twists torsos to create dynamic motion. This is one of my favorite pages. I love the way he tells a story in multi-panels. Oh my goodness, this is magic. That's pure Adams. The page on the left was added on. As you could tell, the art style is different from the original pages. It's almost like getting a, what do you call those DVDs? Unedited version, where they're longer. Director's cut. There you go. This is an artistic director's cut of Neal Adams Monsters. Love it. Now we're introduced to Werewolf. This is an incredible visual on the top page. Very panoramic. Another thing about Adams' rendering is he combines deep blacks and pairs them with razor-thin white highlights. That's pure Adams. It makes the monsters feel carved out of light and shadow. Adams was a master of sequential suggestion. Even when he offers only inside a single panel, the expressions, gestures, and framing imply everything that happened before and after. How he positions characters, leaning into the viewer, looking over the shoulder, crouching low with tension, standing tall with intimidation, looking directly at the camera. These choices create invisible motion. And those close-ups, Adam loved faces. He could communicate terror, sorrow, rage, or madness with tiny shifts in the eyebrows or mouth. It's subtle, but incredibly powerful. When illustrating monsters, Neal lets his imagination stretch beyond traditional shapes, elongated limbs, exaggerated jaws, warped proportions. You'll see how he plays with negative space, using empty areas to make forms feel incomplete or haunting. And those strange textures, scribbled, brushed, etched, give the impression of creatures still forming, almost evolving on the page. These concepts push more into psychological horror. Adams wasn't just drawing monsters, he was exploring fear itself, the fear of mutation, the unknown, the uncanny. His line work became more erratic here, deliberately. That's a phenomenal shot of the werewolf jumping over the wooden posts and the bullets flying next to her. That's crazy. Love it. So far, we've seen Frankenstein, Wolfman. Now we need to see who's next in the monster list. None other than Count Dracula. Oh my god, that is incredible. I love the visual, the hands, the lighting, the teeth. Oh, that's awesome. And the facial expressions of Frankenstein on the bottom right. Just pure Neal Adams at his best. Now we get ready for a treat. Count Dracula versus Frankenstein. What an epic showdown. This is awesome. Dracula couldn't counter Frankenstein's immense strength. I think Frankenstein would have probably choked him out if it continued. This is incredible. Dracula being set on fire by the oil lamp, that's an incredible visual right there. And flying around like a fireball. Awesome. As you could tell by the style, these pages were added on. Director's cut, once again. What a visual of Dracula all burnt to a crisp. This is crazy. Oh man, Frankenstein rips through his chest, rips out his heart, and pokes it on a stake. This is intense. Awesome visuals. Great storytelling. This book showcases everything Neal Adams was known for: deep contrast, perfect anatomy, high drama posing, unapologetically bold compositions. He wasn't afraid of anything. He tried it. He tried it all. Amazing. But at the end of the day, Neal was a storyteller. He loved to tell stories, and he did a phenomenal job. Here we get to see some of Neal's sketches from various projects. H.P. Lovecraft's From Beyond. I'm not sure what all these were for, but I guess they're showing us various things he did on movies and storyboards, horror related. Oh, those are awesome illustrations. This is for something called Funhouse. Nice sketches. It's always an amazing treat to see sketches of never seen art that I've never seen before. I love these two pages. The Man Thing cover on the right, I remember buying that comic book just because they had a Neal Adams cover. I still have it to this day. Beautifully drawn with the werewolf under the ice. Awesome, awesome cover. These are awesome illustrations. And we see one of the most famous Neal Adams, Dracula, Creature from the Blue Lagoon, and Frankenstein together. And I love the sketch at the top. That's something, oh man, the lucky person who's got the original. You got to frame that. Frankenstein statue. And one of my favorites, Valeria the she-bat. The way Neal drew her was amazing. There's a picture of Neal in the back. And that concludes our preview of Monsters by Neal Adams. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. This is Nasser Subashi. Keep on creating, keep on dreaming, and most importantly, don't forget to have some fun in the process. Until next time.